Hi there, and welcome to the Keyword Sign Australia app, proudly brought to you by Scope. My name's Katie Lyon, and I'd just like to take this opportunity to take you on a brief tour of the Keyword Sign Australia app, demonstrating some of the features and functions of the app and the things that you can create with it. The Keyword Sign Australia app was released in 2015 and is the first digital way to access all of the line drawings within the Keyword Sign Australia vocabulary. When you open the Keyword Sign Australia app, you are faced with this welcome screen. And as you can see on the right hand side, you have three options. You can create a book, you can view a video, or you can create a grid. I'm going to take you through each of those sections now, and then we'll come back to the welcome screen at the end to look at what those two options in the toolbar up the top do. So first, let me show you create a book. Create a book has three options. So you can export the full dictionary, which is over 700 plus line drawings of different keyword signs, including the title, the line drawing, and the description. I won't do that today because, as you could probably tell, exporting the full 700 signs will take quite a while. However, you can do that. The next one down is export from category. So if I'm working on a particular category of signs, I can export all of the line drawings under one or multiple categories. As you can see, there's quite a few there, depending on what I'm working on at a particular time. Once I've highlighted the ones that I want to export, up in the top right hand toolbar, you'll see on the right hand side, the first option is the export button. If I export that category, you'll see that I've got a few options here. I can print, I can email. So this is for people who don't actually have access to the app. So if you're a therapist working with with a family who doesn't have access to the app, you can email this across in a PDF format. You can print it directly from your iPad using a wireless printer. But you can see you can also manipulate the layout of the cells. So at the moment it's 4x3, which is the default setting, or I can change it to 3x3 if I'm wanting something larger. And you can see that it adjusts. Now, with the export options for the dictionaries or the categories of line drawings, you can see that colour doesn't really apply, but when we get into Create a Grid later, you'll see how that applies. And you can export with a title or without a title. If I exported by email and click the export button, you can see that it will go directly to my mail within my iPad and attach a PDF of exactly these line drawings that we have chosen to export. I'm going to go back, so top toolbar, left hand side, and I'm going to go back again. And I'm going to show you on the right hand viewport now that all of the 700 plus line drawings are actually listed here. But this is where I can specify exactly which line drawing I want to export into a book of some description. So if I'm working with someone who knows a dictionary of particular signs, and they're moving into an environment where their teachers need to know the signs that they know, and you're wanting to make a quick and easy resource of a dictionary of the signs that that person knows, you can go down and just select the ones that are relevant and the ones that the person already knows, or the ones that you want to be working on with the person. And again, export those as we did before. So either by print, by email, with the other export options available also. Again, we can change the size and layout. So if we're wanting one cell per page, that's what we can adjust as well. In the top toolbar on the right hand side, you'll see a home button which appears fairly often in the top toolbar. That will take me back to my home page where I've got the options for create a book, view a video, or create a grid. So we've explored create a book. Now I'd like to show you view video. If we go into view video, there are a limited library of around 150 videos within the app, and they relate to the categories of finger spelling. So all of the letters of the alphabet there. If we select one of those,
A,
you can see the short clip of the video. You can also see the videos related to the numbers within the dictionary. And the interactive vocabulary. So the interactive vocabulary consists of around 100 signs, and these videos are in here. And I can use the search option up in the toolbar on the left hand side to search for a sign and see the video.
Help. Help.
And you can see Tina doing the sign help there. Let's go back. Top toolbar, left hand side. Now the fourth option within view a video is the custom signs. Now here is where I can store people who have idiosyncratic signs, and I want to have a record of the sign that they do. So signs that aren't necessarily typical of what a sign would look like. Some people do signs that are a little bit different to the typical sign, either because of physical disabilities or perhaps cognitive disability. And so this is where I can store a short clip of the video of the sign that they do in a video format. So on the top left, second option across, I can add my own custom video. So you can see I can add one directly from my gallery on the left hand side there. So that will go into my camera roll and select whichever videos are in there. I can tap to add a video from my camera, which is directly using the camera live at the time of saving the video. And you can add the video title and save the video, as you can see there. Let's go back. The other way I've seen this area used is for if you're wanting to record a short video, say for example of you doing the key signs for a song or for a nursery rhyme or for a book. You can actually record yourself doing that and save it in here. The other option is you can search online sign bank. Now this links directly to the auslan.org.au website, which then allows you to search a much bigger library of short video clips. Top right hand corner, we've got the home button. I'm going to go back to the home page, and now I'm going to go into create a grid. So create a grid allows you to not only create what it says, a grid with a certain number of cells per page, but it also allows you to insert photos directly from your camera roll or by using your camera. It allows you to input line drawings from that library of around 700 line drawings, which is included in the app, or it allows you to insert a widget symbol, because the entire widget library, symbol library, is included within the app as well. So I'll give you an example of the type of resource you may want to create. However, this is just an example, and obviously you'll come up with lots of ideas as well. So on the left-hand viewport there, you have create a new grid. I'm going to call this George's PCD, or Personal Communication Dictionary. Now I can actually add an image here, and this is optional. You can see in the left-hand viewport, This may be just a little thumbnail which helps me to identify that grid based on all of the existing grids that I have completed. I'm not going to do that today, but let's just say we will add cells. Now, you don't need to specify the exact number of cells that you need in your grid initially. This is basically just you keep creating cells and it will keep adding cells as you go, and then you have the ability to change the configuration when you export it as to the layout that you want. So in a personal communication dictionary you might have 3 columns where you have what I do, what it might mean, and what you should do in response to this. And sometimes people create a signing dictionary, particularly if they have signs that don't necessarily look like the typical sign. So here I'm going to have my first column of what I do. So here for my title grid, I'm pressing add on the left hand side there, and I'm going to add a widget symbol. And I want to add me. I'll take that second one, and I'm going to change the title. So I've just selected my cursor into where that title is, and I'm going to change the title that I give it. And the title of that cell is going to be what I do. Now, I can add a description under there in here, but I'm not going to in this instance because it's a title cell. And I can also change the font. You can see there the font of the text. I can change the color of the text. So this is the color tool that comes up. I have some pre-selected colors here, or I can go into much more detailed colors or identify those colours within using the RGB reference, so I can get a very specific colour. I'm not going to do any of that today, but let me just, or I can make the text bigger. Then I'm going to select save, and it will go in with what I do. My next title cell is going to be again a widget symbol, so I select widget symbol. And this is going to be the cell for what it might mean. So I'm just going to have a, given that this is for people who support the person to read, I'm just going to have the question mark there. And I'm going to change my title to be what it might mean. And again, save. And the third one more widget symbol. And this one is going to be what you should do in response to this, and I am going to select that cell and again change my title. What you should do will do. Again, knowing that I can change the font, which has all of the iOS or the iPad operating system fonts available in there. I can change the color of the font, the color of the cell. So here is where I might add a photo of what the person does. And this might be a photo of a sign that doesn't look exactly like what a typical sign might look like. So let's go into plus here, and we're going to plus and add a photo directly from my camera library. Now you could see that I can also add the photo direct from my camera, so I can use the live camera tool to take a photo of the person doing the sign at that point in time, or of myself doing the sign. So I have a photo here, and I'm just going to save that because that's what we're going to show what the person does. The next one, I'm going to add what it might mean. So under that column, what it might mean. It might mean I want more. So you can see this is a different way of doing a grid. The third cell, you might have the actual line drawing, so the Auslan sign of more, with adding to the description, you can model the correct sign for more. And then it will have the description. I can go back into the cell and I might add a colour, for example, to the background of that cell, just to distinguish, to the border of that cell, just to distinguish the different columns. To add some colour coding. And I might carry that colour coding through and go into my recents down the bottom, carry that colour coding through my grid. Now down the bottom there you can see that you've got the love heart, which indicates your favourite, so you can assign a colour to a favourite. You can go into the next button, which is your recents, which is where I'm going to access the most recent colours that I've used to make sure they're consistent. And again, let's go into recents, or you can go into that more detailed grid of colours. Okay, so I could continue there by adding another photo. And add that this one means that I am signing help. And again, add the line drawing for help. Again, I could colour code those with the same colours, bringing that through. Now, when I'm ready to export that, again, we've got our cell up the top right-hand corner in the toolbar, which I press export to. Now you can see that that's just one to one, one by one. So one column, one, so it's really just one cell. Let's go to 3 by 3, which is what I envisage it looking like. And now you can see we've got George's PCD, what I do, what it might mean, what you should do in response to that. A really simple visual that you can now export by email or print with the colour, if I've used colour coding, with the colour symbols. Then I can export with or without the title, and I can email that across to somebody as well. I'm going to select Home again from the top right-hand toolbar and just show you the other two settings up in the top toolbar. So one, we have information, which gives me an overlay of the support of what each of the options do. And then if I go into settings, you've got a few options here. You can change the default settings for font type, font size, and font color. So these are all just set as a default, but if you're wanting to change these so that they are consistent across all boards, you can do that. I can go into my user guide, which has some detailed information on how to use the app. Or I can go into this export option. So these are the defaults again. As you can see, we are at the moment, the default is to not hide all text, not hide images, and not hide descriptions. But if I'm finding that I'm wanting to hide the description more often than not, I can select that on, which will then just show me the text and the image of the line drawing and not the description. So there you have it. That's a really quick overview of the Keyword Sign Australia app. I hope you've enjoyed the tour, and please get in contact with us if you have any questions or feedback at Scope on circ@scopevic.org.au. That email address is circ@scopevic.org.au. Thanks for listening.